up, everybody? Doug Timmons, 18 Greens TV, of course, here at Encinitas Ranch. Where else would I be? Been here for 17 years, might as well keep it going. Anyway, today we're going to go over a little bit about alignment sticks, how to set up your practice area. A lot of really easy, stupid errors can be made just by going to the driving range and not setting up a proper practice area. Believe it or not, I see it all the time. So something like this, the Skills little Practice Pod Pro, comes with 3 sticks. You can do whatever you want. You can get this, you can go to Home Depot, wherever, and pick up just any sort of stick that you can use for alignment. You can also use a golf club, but I happen to use the Skills. So we're going to go over just a few little easy things to talk about how to set up a proper practice area and make it pretty much dummy proof so you don't get yourself into some bad errors for really no reason. So here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about how to set up your practice area for good alignment, again, so we don't have any sort of unforced errors. I like to use 3 different alignment sticks when I set up my practice area, and we'll kind of go over the reason why, how to set them up, and keep it pretty easy. The very first one I use is the alignment for your body. So just as a neutral setup, you want to line up nice and square to your target. Your body and your feet are going to be parallel left of your target. So I'm going to set this one down. So when we set our feet up, again, this is just a reference point. You don't have to put your feet exactly against it, but what you are wanting to do is set it up nice and parallel. So always come back and take a look once you set it up and make your adjustments. Again, take your time when you're doing this, because the more time you take and you set up a perfect practice area, you're going to get rid of those unforced errors. And it's pretty easy to do when you're setting up to a wrong target and you're trying to hit it somewhere where you're not even aligned to. So anyway, so there's the first line. That's your body alignment. That's going to be parallel left. So the next one I use is just my target line. I'm going to always set this up on my target line, so that way I can always not only see my lines but also work on them. When I look down the line, I want to be able to visualize those parallel lines. So I'm going to set this one down. This will be parallel to my body, but it should be lined up right at the target. Okay, so I have that part of my practice area set up. So that way, when I'm ready to set up and address the ball, I can have my line set up. I want my body, my shoulders, everything nice and parallel to the target, and I want this one to be lined up right at my target. So that's my target line. So that way when I set up, I can set up nice and square. And when I'm making my swings, I can swing down my target line. The third alignment stick that I like to use is for your ball position. And so ball position is also important when you're setting up your practice area, to make sure you don't have it too far forward, too far back, or maybe too much in the middle, depending on what club you're playing. So we want it just right. So having good ball position is very important. So this is the alignment stick that we want to use. And what we're trying to do is also make a tee. So you want it nice and straight, and then that way when you set up, you can, if you're depending on what club you're playing, you can move your feet around. Depending on what shot, if you're trying to play a punch shot, a little bit more back, you can see where your ball position is. I'm hitting a 7-iron, so for me, just a stock standard 7-iron. I like to play it right almost dead center in my stance, so that way when you look down, you can really get a good visual. I like to use the off-colored one for my ball position so I can really just look down and identify it right away. Okay, boom, that's in the middle and I'm ready to go. So having these 3 sticks is very important for when you're setting up your practice area. Practice area, set it up, 18 greens, Doug Timmons, it's a wrap.